Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Wednesday night topic calls. We skipped a couple weeks because we had so many amazing things going on in Plexus with corporate. We were actually able to go to a couple in-person events, which is new after the last couple years. And it was so good to be able to see our brothers and sisters in Plexus and hug each other's necks and really rub shoulders and exchange tips and celebrate things that have happened in the last couple years. So we are back and we are ready to kick off the next set of this series with our medical professionals, y'all. I mean, if like you appreciate them, drop a 1 in the chat. These people show up for us all the time, okay? And yes, the world has been crazy the last 2 years, and they've really shown us, the reason that they're in this job is because they honestly care about people. And I know for me personally, my oldest was sick on Thanksgiving and it warranted and rushed to the ER. And I remember sitting there and I just looked at the girl and I was like, I just have to tell you, thank you for being here. Like this just goes unnoticed. I feel like your family's home having turkey and you're here fighting with a 4-year-old. Thank you. So medical professionals truly are our heroes in the good times and the bad. So I'm so excited that you get to hear from them tonight and how they have incorporated our products, the pink drink, into their life. And, I'm sure they are probably the worst patients. I'm not sure, but I will just say that. And taking care of themselves, being moms, being people of families, it's hard, y'all. And they have made it a priority to take care of their guts and to show up for us when we need them. So I'm going to first introduce to you Brittany Raup. She is an Emerald Ambassador with me in Plexus. And I'm super excited for you to hear where she comes from in the medical field and how these products have helped her. And she is now literally, y'all, waiting to pop. We might have a baby on this call if we're lucky. So Brittany, please, girl, take it away.
So funny. Yes, I'm due any day now. So I'm like, what if my water broke on a Zoom call? That would be so epic, right? Just so cool. No, hopefully that doesn't happen. But thank you for the introduction. My name is Brittany Raup, like Caitlin said. I'm an Emerald Ambassador with Plexus. I've been with Plexus for 4 years and the time goes like that. So my healthcare story is a little bit different. I was not in the sick side of healthcare. I worked for 12 years in prevention. And so my background is in health promotion and wellness management. And I worked as a medical fitness specialist. So I would do exercise programming and nutrition and all that kind of stuff for what we would call special populations, or people that just couldn't go to a normal gym. They needed extra help and support. So cancer survivors, people recovering from surgery, cardiac rehab, that kind of stuff. So I've always loved prevention. I was in that role for 8.5 years. And then I moved over into cancer prevention and worked in a cancer center. I was able to do cancer screenings and all the breast health screenings and all that stuff you see. There's a whole team behind the scenes in a hospital or in a healthcare setting making all that stuff happen. And I loved my role because I was able to put those programs into place for the community. So I've always loved prevention. But even though I was a healthy person and a healthy weight and all that, I had a lot of underlying health issues that I didn't know were connected to gut health until I started Plexus. So I honestly started because I was nursing my 4-year-old at the time. I have 3 other kids. My little one was just a couple months old. She's 4 now. This is 4 years ago. So she was 4 months old. And I was just looking for a good multivitamin. I'm I need something to support my health. And I had seen my friend sharing about Plexus. I'm you know what? Let me just give this a try. I had taken supplements before, but I'm I want to support my friend and maybe this is a little different. And it was the first time that I felt an actual difference taking supplements. So I jumped all in, got my gut healthy, started on Triplex, was consistent. And because I'm passionate about prevention and wellness, when something helps, I have to share it. I have to tell people this works, right? If I found a meal plan that worked so great, I would tell somebody about it. If I have a new exercise routine that is giving awesome results, I'm going to tell somebody. And it was the same thing with Plexus. I noticed a difference. I felt a difference. So I started sharing. And just with, I was working my business. at the hospital. I had my little kids, but I started sharing Plexus. I was able to grow this kind of side income that was really awesome. I wasn't expecting to like make any money from it, but I grew my Plexus business to a point where I was then able to retire out of healthcare. So after 12 years of working in the hospital, I was able to shift to just doing Plexus. We actually moved up to the mountains. It was a whole big life change. And now I just do Plexus from home and homeschool my kids. So it has been a huge blessing. And what I love now is that I have that time freedom that I really didn't have before. I always kind of felt torn between family life and work life, and it's hard to balance all of the things. And it was hard for me. I kind of felt out of balance, but now I'm able to help with prevention, help with true health care, not sick care, but health care, helping people be healthy and do it from home on my own hours. And guys, my Plexus income has replaced my healthcare income times three. So it is an incredible opportunity. And I absolutely just love helping people. Another bonus from my work with Plexus and growing is the leadership training. I feel like anyone who is working in healthcare, I was a manager at the cancer center. I have gotten better leadership training from our Plexus community and our corporate Plexus community than I ever got as a manager in healthcare. And so that also was huge in just growing me as a person, and equipping me to do my job when I was in the hospital and also help my team with their goals as well. So that's a little bit of my story. If you guys have questions, just pop them in the comments, but I will turn it back to Caitlin.
Thank you. Guys, I love, okay, so I mean, like she said, like her story's a little different because she was on the prevention side of things, not the sick side of things. But I love that this parallels to her passion. Like she loves, like I know she loved her job because I can see in Plexus how much she loves helping people get healthier, stay healthier, form new lifestyle. Like it's not just like she runs like a whole page on intermittent fasting and snacks and healthy choices, and like it's something that she was already passionate about, and she's able to flawlessly blend that into her Plexus journey and just add that much more value to the people that are joining her team. So I love that. Thank you so much, Britt, for sharing. Okay, so our next speaker is going to be Rebecca Thompson. She is going to share her story and I think a little bit about her husband's story. I feel like they just go flawlessly together. I'm always excited when she's going to share. So Rebecca, please share your story.
Hello, how are you? Thank you for inviting me. My name's Rebecca. I've been a nurse for 15 years. Most of my time as a nurse was in the emergency room, and then I moved over to maternity. And I currently just accepted a position as a school nurse. So now I'm working with children ages grades 3 to 5 actually. And quite the difference, almost like being in my own little emergency room all day, putting out little fires, but I love it. Absolutely love working with the children. So as a nurse, I always thought I was pretty healthy myself. You know, we were treating sick people all the time in the emergency room. And being a nurse, especially in the ERs, you see people when they're at their sickest. And we basically, you know, we give them medication, we get them stable, and we kind of just ship them out to where they need to go, whether they go upstairs or to another hospital. You know, we never really see them or treat them and teach them how to be healthy. I've shared this before many times. I have my bachelor's degree in nursing, and I never had one nutrition class. Most of the focus in nursing was on disease and how to treat disease. We never really ever talked about how to prevent disease. You know, when you see patients, they're sick, we're giving them medicine to treat their migraines. We're giving them medicine to, you know, fix their stomach upset. No one ever goes back to the root issue. And that's something I've learned recently with being introduced to Plexus, is there is a root issue for a lot of the diseases and the complications and the things that we struggle with daily. And that goes to my health struggle and then my husband's health struggle. You know, we thought we were pretty healthy. I exercised. I am also not only just a nurse, I'm an EMT and a firefighter. So we were active, we were busy. We worked out, we took supplements, So I didn't think we needed Plexus. I didn't think we needed to be any healthier. But my friend talked me into it for probably 4, 5, 6 months, probably. I finally said yes. I said, why not? I'm already taking supplements. The pink drink tasted really, really good. So I stuck with it, and I went in with no expectations because I really had no knowledge of gut health. As a nurse, we had the only time we ever heard about gut health was when the doctor told the patient to eat a yogurt in between their antibiotics. So that's really the only time, we told them anything about gut health. So I had no expectations going in. So I just did my pink drink every day. I did the supplements as my sponsor told me. And then, little by little, we started to see little changes. I noticed my wedding ring was not tight anymore. One of the things that, as a nurse on the maternity floor, one of the things that I share a lot is that the patients would ask me when I was due, and I was not pregnant. I always was bloated. I always had a gut, and it was kind of embarrassing. But that goes back to the fact that my gut was never healthy. As a nurse, I was working long shifts. I'd skip the bathroom break because, you're running around. I had constant UTIs. And along with constant UTIs, I was on antibiotics, sometimes every other month. It got to the point where the doctor actually wanted to put me on a maintenance antibiotic daily. And that's about the same time that Paige had introduced me to Plexus. So little by little, things started changing. About 3, 4 months in, I was like, wow, I don't have any more, I'm not drinking any more energy drinks like I was. Just a pink drink. I was getting through the day with lots of energy and just a pink drink. A year into it, we took pictures for my husband's birthday, and we also had the flashback of the last year's pictures. And to see those 2 pictures side by side, we were blown away. The inflammation that we noticed in both of us was it was so dramatic. My husband struggled for 5 years with inflammation, aches and pains. We went through doctors, up to university hospitals. Nobody could give us answers. They could see the inflammation on x-rays, but they could not give us any other answers besides they thought he had rheumatoid arthritis. They thought he had fibromyalgia. They knew he had chronic fatigue. He had low testosterone. Lots of medications, lots of drugs, nothing ever really worked. There's numerous side effects. And then enter Plexus. A year later, he had lost 17 pounds, no diet changes. It was mostly inflammation. He did not crave sweets anymore. And most importantly, he was running around in the field with his children flying kites when we were camping, and our friends were shocked. They said, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. So we are now Plexus for life. And the great thing is about being a medical professional is this lines up more with helping people than when we work with sick people, and we constantly see sick people that we can't help. That's how nurses and medical professionals get burnt out so easy, is because it's constantly seeing the same people, same population. They're still sick and we're not able to help them. With Plexus, we're able to give them something that is able to help them. We're able to coach them. We're able to educate them and to make a connection with them and to stay connected and to see them in the long run. So as a medical professional, this does really line up with our philosophy to help people. So I guess that's it for tonight.
I love it. I love your story. I love when you share. And you guys, we have found part of Rebecca's zone of genius that she functions in is the education side of things, that she, talking about people getting burnt out and seeing the same people with the same problems and they're just masking them. And she's like, I want to educate people on why they keep getting, the same infections over and over, and why this is happening and why they're in pain. And that's really something that she's been able to use her Plexus platform as a way to educate her network and her audience on why this could be happening to you, not just band-aiding it and sending you to the next department or to the next doctor. So thank you so much for sharing your story. I love it. Okay, Miss Shannon Seelman is going to wrap us up tonight, girlfriend. I cannot wait to hear from you. Take it away.
Thank you so much for inviting me to share tonight. I'm so excited to just share my story, and I feel like I haven't talked about like going like way back when I started and sharing all that. So this is super fun. So my name is Shannon. I actually started working, Brittany reminded me of this. I mean, I didn't forget, but me and Brittany met each other at the medical fitness facility that Brittany was talking about, where she originally worked and started in her healthcare profession. And that is where we met and our journey began, which is amazing to know that like starting there brought us to where we are right now. I work in the hospital as a medical sonographer. So that just means that I do ultrasounds. I do ultrasounds all day on babies and men and females and all kinds of different things. I know a lot of times when you think of ultrasound, which is what I thought when I first went into this, was that I was just going to be scanning babies all day and it was just going to be so easy and happy and lovely. Well, it's not. It's not like that every single day. It could be very stressful and very strenuous on the body. I am a Ruby ambassador with Plexus, and I've been doing this for 4 years now. And like I said, Brittany introduced me to this wonderful world of Plexus. And I could not have found it at a better time in my life and in my career. So just going back, starting at the age of 15, I started having some serious back pain, back issues, herniated and bulging discs that they think came from me falling roller skating on my chin, and just like the impact of just destroyed my spine and my neck and everything else. So I like had a second set of books in high school, and I just really struggled for a long time, from the age of 15 until I was 31 when Plexus was introduced to me. Just daily, chronic, non-manageable kind of pain that somebody that young should not have. Like in my 20s, I was on disability. So I found myself in my early 30s, starting my new ultrasound career, and I was just struggling through my days, trying to like, go through learning this new career and just all that entails, and just being in the medical field. And on top of that, just being in pain every day. Like it wasn't a fun beginning to my journey as an ultrasound technologist. So like I said, it's just very hard on the body. You're standing in different positions all day, do procedures with doctors. So I'm like, I have to stand and hold the probe and, show them important parts of the body that I don't want them to miss and like hit something else. So it's just very strenuous on the body. There was a specific time I can remember sitting down, scanning somebody, doing their ultrasound, and I was finished with doing the ultrasound, but I could not move. I was in so much pain that I was literally stuck in my chair, and I sat there and I pretended like I was continuing to take pictures, because if I were to move, I was going to bust out in tears because I was in that much pain. Like I can't even put into words like, and I forget that where I came from with that, like that I struggled that bad. I was even like walking from the car into the hospital, just the extra weight of my purse on my shoulder was just like too much. I was going home after work, icing and heating my back. Like I just struggled hard. So Plexus came into my life during like my second year of working in the hospital. And within my second month, I literally reached out to Brittany and I was like, could this pink drink be helping my back pain? Like, I am not leaning over and bracing myself like a 75-year-old anymore. Like, what is this magic juice? So obviously from there, I had to start sharing. I just had to tell everybody about it because it had helped me so much. It was like my body was so filled with inflammation, and that's what was causing me the daily chronic pain. And the pink drink just like melted it away. And I have literally, I'm not even lying, 99% better. I want to say 100, but there are my days and there's things that I know that I can't do, but I am 99% better. In the past 4 years, I haven't had to deal with what I was dealing with before. It is amazing. So from there, I was sharing with anybody who would listen to me. My mom was my first person. Like, Mom, I don't care what you say, you're signing up. Like, everybody's signing up because this is amazingness. And I don't even know, like, everyone has to do this. So then that leads me to the opportunity that Plexus offers and the income that you can make with this from home, which I started, like I said, sharing, and I just was like doing it, whatever, organically, like whoever would listen to me, I would sign them up. It wasn't anything, like I wasn't really working for it. But then once the pandemic hit, I was cut hours at work. I worked part-time, but I would always pick up extra shifts. I would do call because, when there's opportunity to make more money, you just say yes, right? So I would just do all that. Pandemic hit, my hours were cut. They cut me back to just my minimum hours. And I was sort of okay with that. Well, I was really okay with that because just the pandemic brought in a ton of stress on top of the already stressful environment of the hospital. And I was like, okay, I'm going to work my 2 days a week and I'm just going to work on Plexus. And I also make candles. So it gave me time to do both of those two things. So now that we are, like, I don't want to say post-pandemic, but like we're on the other end of it, sort of, kind of. And I now able to just stay with my 2 days a week. Like, I'm good with that now that I was kind of like forced to do that. And now I'm like, okay, I don't like, I want to work less. It allows me to stay home and to work the 2 days a week, not have to pick up extra call. I literally just do my minimum hours unless like one of my coworkers needs a day off or something, I will do it for them, but I don't have to do it for the extra money. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I don't have to pick up the extra shifts to pay for bills or anything like that. I was literally able to pay double payments on my car, my brand new car last year, all year long. So double payments for that, and all came from my Plexus income. And the world of the medical field can be very stressful. And it just allows me to work just enough to enjoy my job and then say, see you later, I'll be back in 5 days. So it's just been a huge, huge blessing in my life. The community, the business, the products have just done nothing but bless my life. And I just can scream it from the rooftops. And thank you so much, Caitlin, for asking me to share.
Oh my goodness, you are so welcome. And like, oh my gosh, y'all, all the stuff. So like, I resonate a lot with that. So I have rheumatoid arthritis. So aches and pains and discomfort is something I'm very familiar with. And I like listening to you speak, it just like reminds me of like, often I will say like, I didn't know how much pain I was actually in until I went through my day to day, not in that pain. Or like, I still will have a flare here and there. And like, what to me now I feel like would probably have been like a little bit of pain before seems like a lot of pain now, because for so long I'm not in the pain that I was in. So I resonate with that a lot. And I also love, so my job was cut to, I was a hairstylist from COVID, and I was home for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks on end. And I, as you were saying, like, you were kind of okay with it, right? And at first it was like, okay, like this is okay. And then I was to the point that we didn't know if we were going to return, but I was able to really focus, like you did, on my Plexus business, multiply that, increase my income over 4 times. And I'm like, COVID is a bad thing for a lot of people, but it was also an opportunity for some people to really be able to take other opportunities that were in their life and kind of reprioritize and create a success story out of that. So I love that you were able to kind of focus a passion, and that you get to enjoy work now. You get to go in because you want to, you get to enjoy it. It's not because you are like pushed to the budget. We have to do this. I have to be there. So I love that so much. So everyone, I just want to thank you so much for getting on tonight. If anybody did have any questions, please just drop them in the chat real quick. If you are watching the recording or you're watching here live with us, and you have been stirred by some of the stories you've heard, and maybe just like I resonated with little bits of each of them, if you resonated with any of them, please do not go to bed without getting your questions answered. Please reach out to the person that sent you the recording or invited you to this call, and tell them you have questions and you want to start your own journey. So thank you so much for jumping on tonight. Have a good night, guys.